This morning, the Adventure Science Center was packed with enthusiastic crowds to witness one couple getting married.
Yeah, Sarah McCarthy is there now. Not your typical exchanging of vows for sure.
No, absolutely. This day is going to be one for the history books, both for that couple and also for the rest of Nashville. You can see the Adventure Science Center is set up and ready to handle the crowds that they're expecting. Tens of thousands of people will be here today. You can see we still have plenty of space this morning, and I'll tell you that's because a lot of people are out hiding under the shade. But for the new Mr. and Mrs. Carroll, this day will mark the beginning of their lives together. The bride and groom were married at 8 o'clock this morning in the Galactic Gardens display at the Adventure Science Center. Their friends and family traveled from all over the country to be here, but the ceremony was also open to anyone who wanted to spend the day with the couple. The couple says they chose this day because they wanted it to be something that they'll never forget.
I give you my promise.
I give you my promise.
That from this day forward.
That from this day forward.
You shall not walk alone.
You shall not walk alone.
May my heart be your shelter.
May my heart be your shelter.
And my arms be your home.
Now, this day was obviously very memorable for Dan and Katie, but their day is not over. The Adventure Science Center actually gave them a spot on the rooftop to watch the eclipse. This is a prime viewing location. We will also be here and we'll be with them during that moment. Dan actually told me he's very excited for that moment because it's the first time that they'll get to spend some time alone together in the last few days after all of this wedding planning. So we'll be there. We'll have those updates for you. Check us out on Facebook and follow along with us throughout the rest of this day. Reporting live at the Adventure Science Center, Sarah McCarthy, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Sarah. Congratulations to Katie and Dan.
Definitely.
You know, most of the schools in our area took the day off, but children and teachers are gathered for a big party right now in a prime spot.
Yeah, Jonquil Newland is at Elmington Park with lots of students who are about to take in a lesson in science they will never forget. Jonquil.
Yeah, that's right, Leland. Of course, right now, students are beginning to make their way to Elmington Park. I just want to kind of give you guys a scope of just how much space there is out here right now. There are definitely people coming out to set up their tents, set up their umbrellas. As you saw, maybe there's not a lot of people in the field. Well, that's because, as Sarah mentioned a little bit earlier, everyone's trying to get into the shade. And speaking of shade, Channel 5 has our own booth right over here. Hello, everybody. Hey, are you a student or a parent?
I'm a teacher and a parent.
Well, what's your name, ma'am?
Keisha Williams.
Keisha Williams. How are you going to be viewing this eclipse day with your students a little bit later on?
Well, we're out of school today, so I'm here with my son, and he attends West End. So I'm here being a teacher / parent. I have some of my old kids back here behind me from last year, so we're going to just sit over here in the shade and
watch it
and try to watch.
And you're planning to do like when school begins next?
Well, we did our lessons last week.
Okay.
So I teach 4th grade, so we study moon phases in 4th grade, so we did a lot of the Oreo cookie moon phases.
Is this your son?
This is my son.
What's your name, sir?
Bernard Simmons.
Nice to meet you. What are you most looking forward to about the solar eclipse?
Honestly, really it's just the fact that that's really like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to tell my kids I'll be able to. Yeah.
Well said, sir. So everyone's out here, as I mentioned, getting in the shade. We'll have more reports for you tonight at 1 o'clock and throughout the early evenings. I'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Jonquil. Mayor Megan Barry is addressing the crowds right now, welcoming everybody to the big eclipse celebration.
Yeah, so let's go back right now to First Tennessee Park.
Get here, we all know that this is going to be a day that we are never going to forget. We're going to have some fun, but I also want you to be safe. The festivities are going to kick off, but I want you to make sure that you listen carefully when it's time to put on those solar glasses and then to take them off when you're told, but to make sure that you absolutely pay attention to that. So, I know Carol, who is the regional president of First Tennessee Bank, wants to do a welcome and say a few words to you. So I'm going to invite Carol Yoakum up to come and say a few words.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mayor Barry. First Tennessee Bank welcomes you to the largest celebration in the largest city in the path of today's total eclipse of the sun.
Well, the impact on traffic and hundreds of thousands of drivers is changing rapidly.
So right now, Rebecca is in. What's the latest that you're seeing on the roads right now?
Guys, I'm cautiously optimistic right now. We had a relatively quiet morning. Alexandra Cohen is in live drive right now. She's going up I-24 headed toward the Clarksville area from Nashville right now. And take a look at this, wide open. She did run into a little bit of traffic up I-24 westbound just around the North Loop area. And that's what this sky cam shot is showing us. This is I-65 northbound. You can see there is a little bit of traffic. There is a little bit of congestion on the roads right now, but it's nothing that we're not used to handling, to be honest with you. Things have been much better than we expected. We think possibly because people have had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get into town wherever they want to go. So that definitely helped. Take a look at our Metro crash map right now. We do have one down on Nolensville Pike and Concord Road. Injuries are reported there, but you can see a lot of green, just a couple slight slowdowns here and there on our Metro map. Let's take you out to Hopkinsville right now. Of course, a lot of folks heading there as the point of greatest eclipse. I've marked out Depot Park here, and you can see there is some slowdowns. We had a pretty bad one at Pennyroyal Parkway earlier at MLK. They had to actually move traffic along there, but otherwise things are looking pretty good. A little slow in Lebanon, 840 eastbound and 40 eastbound, and Spring Hill, I-65 northbound as well. Now let's head back over to you guys.